The future of our schools, an urgency for change. With our host, the founder of Marc Ecko Enterprises and Complex Magazine, fashion designer, artist, and philanthropist, Marc Ecko. Rapper, music executive, and Sound Lab school mentor, Pusha T. Educator and chief executive officer of the XQ Institute, Russlyn Ali. Founder of Emerson Collective and education advocate, Laurene Powell Jobs. Actor, tech entrepreneur, and activist, Jesse Williams. Actor, author, and spokesman for the National Honor Society, Hill Harper. You're invited to the conversation.
Wow, wow, wow. What we thought we would do, if you indulge us, we're gonna watch a quick little sizzle that's gonna help you understand what these guys are trying to do.
This is America in 1900. This is a car in 1900, and a phone, and a high school. This is America in 1950, and a car, and a phone, and a high school. This is today, a car, a phone, a high school. American high schools are based on the same model, and it's been over 100 years. So why are we still granting diplomas based on the time a student spends in a seat? Why are we still using the Carnegie Unit, which was developed in 1906 and says the formula for learning is 4 years sitting at a desk multiplied by one subject taught at a time equals students ready for the future? All questions XQ the Super School Project asked America to help answer. Starting with America's first 10 super schools. Schools that will let students learn by doing, that focus on the future and spark curiosity. Schools that build community, unleash potential, and solve real-world problems. Schools that will ask their students what they think and will actually listen to them. Students, like me.
Why is it that schools haven't changed for 100 years? And that beat in the video, I don't know if people caught that, explain better what this Carnegie Unit thing is.
It was an organizing principle for the Industrial Revolution. So in industry and in factories, when people would punch in with a punch card and their productivity was measured by the time served and the number of units that were developed, this same notion of time served was the organizing principle for high schools.
Basically, I saw, it's like the formula is like 40 hours on your ass a week. Like that's how they measure like a student hour, right?
Yes.
Or the Carnegie Unit.
Yes, yes.
It's crazy.
Big study came out this week that talked about the value of a high school diploma, that it's meaningless. So while we have a lot of talk that graduation rates are going up across the country, we're at about an 85 to 90% graduation rate.
There has to be a
nationwide.
qualitative overlay.
Right.
With what? It's meaningless.
Yeah.
We have to be teaching kids to be problem solvers in real world skills of today. The majority of young people are getting skills that neither prepare them for the workforce or college. That's what we have to tackle.
Right.
Everybody needs to understand algebra to know deductive reasoning. Everybody needs to understand physics to know how the world works, to really be able to do rigorous engineering in the way of the jobs and the skills that we need to succeed.
Jesse, you were a hot teacher for 3 years.
As a high school teacher, that's a typo. High school
Oh,
teacher.
high school,
Yeah.
that's right. It's a typo here. But I know education is important to you. How do you think reimagining high schools would help your causes and objectives?
In a myriad of ways. I mean, structurally, one of the things I have focused on is kind of re-examining why we have schools in the first place. My experience as a child going to school in Chicago, my experience as a teacher in at-risk, as a teacher of at-risk communities, is that schools are really have defaulted into holding cells. They're just a box that you go and sit in because you're supposed to. What is the objective of sitting in that box? It needs to be re-examined. And is that box safe? Mm-hmm. Is it a space where I can be nurtured and inspired?
Yeah.
So school should really be about an education. What is education? And whose responsibility is it?
I'm from Virginia Beach, Virginia. Coming up with all of the talent and everything, the community, local government, no one tried to nurture what we were doing.
Yeah.
You have myself and my brother as the Clips, Pharrell and Chad Hugo as the Neptunes, Missy Elliott, Timbaland, you know, all from our area. You know, you can't congregate.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
we couldn't even congregate to rap in the lunchroom.
And made teachers unable to do it.
Yeah, and that's the
Contracts.
underlying point of your question.
Yeah,
In
go
that
ahead.
the problem is, and this is, all of us in this room are complicit because we're not holding these schools accountable.
Yeah.
We're allowing them to undereducate our kids, and it takes sometimes foreigners, because in Pennsylvania right now, there's a lawsuit from immigrants who are placed in a certain school that had a 54% graduation rate, and they're suing the school district claiming that they can't learn in this school. Why did it take an immigrant or families of immigrants to do
Right.
that? Why aren't we suing our schools?
That's right. We all need to be, parents and students, we deserve to be better consumers of school, demand to get more as consumers of our school, right? It's like if I said, no, go home, here's your rotary phone, tough, in an iPhone world, why are we accepting that?
More than half of the people in this room will have jobs that don't exist today. And if you think
We don't know what they
about
are
it,
yet.
We don't know what
we
they
don't
are.
know what they are.
Right.
But if you think about it, 18 years ago, so the same age as a lot of the people at ComplexCon, Google was started. And so the entire world has changed in the last 2 decades. And of course, it will change equally rapidly in the next 2 decades. So what we need from our schools is to produce nimble and agile thinkers and lifelong learners and people who are able to work in groups and to do critical thinking and problem solving together and separately, and all of that stuff that's actually not happening in high schools.